Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain News Update, we'll take a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press here in Spain, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Before I begin, a huge thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's through the Super Thanks option on YouTube, longer-term supporters on Patreon, or the channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that support. Now, straight into the news, and tourism records in Spain are again being smashed. And as we can read here, record after record, Spain hosts 12% more international tourists than in 2023, with an average spending of 1,432 euros. The number of international tourists arriving in Spain reached its highest level in the first 7 months of 2024, nearing 53.4 million, marking a 12% increase compared to the previous year. According to data from the National Statistics Institute, the spending by these tourists has risen by almost 20% through July, reaching 71.1 billion euros. As anticipated, summer has brought new record numbers of tourists to Spain. In July alone, the country received a total of 10.9 million international tourists, 7.3% more than in the same month of 2023. The United Kingdom was the leading country in sending visitors to Spain, surpassing the 2 million mark, a 2.6% increase from July of the previous year. France followed with 1.6 million visitors, up 3.4%, and Germany with 1.2 million visitors, up 6.6%. Tourists who visited Spain in July mainly chose the Balearic Islands for their stay, accounting for 23.4% of the total. Catalonia followed with 22.1%, and the Valencian community with 13.6%. So there we go, record after record as far as tourism is concerned here in Spain. 53.4 million international tourists to be exact visiting the country in the first 7 months of the year, and the money that these international tourists are spending up also. And as we saw, the leading countries when it comes to international visitors, number one, the United Kingdom, followed by France, and then Germany. Now, keeping on the subject of tourism and where some of these international visitors stay when they're here in Spain. And as we can read here, nearly 2,000 apartments in Valencia have been converted to tourist rentals in a year amid visitor boom. The city of Valencia, like most tourist municipalities in the region, is experiencing a peak in attracting tourists. According to records, the number of visitors has never been as high as it is now. More than 1.2 million travelers stayed in the capital of Turia between January and June, according to the National Statistics Institute. This surge in arrivals is also reflected in the number of apartments available on platforms like Airbnb throughout the city, a figure that, according to data from the municipal foundation Visit Valencia, has skyrocketed by nearly 2,000 units compared to July of last year. So there we go, tourist apartments popping up like mushrooms in the city of Valencia. And no wonder authorities in that part of Spain have had to intervene in the market, because few people, it seems, want to put their properties on the long-term rental market, and that, as we have seen in recent times, creates issues for the locals. Now, the third piece of news, and a disturbing piece of news in my opinion, because according to a recent survey, 26% of young men prefer authoritarianism over democracy in some circumstances. Support for democracy is declining among younger generations. 1 in 4 men, 25.9%, aged 18 to 26, known as Generation Z or Z, believes that in some circumstances, authoritarianism may be preferable to the democratic system, while 18.3% of women in the same age group, almost 8 percentage points fewer, would choose a dictatorship. The gender gap is even wider in the next generation up. The millennials aged 27 to 42, 22.9% of men find an authoritarian regime acceptable compared to only 12.7% of women. These findings are revealed in the latest 40dB survey for El País and SER, titled Democratic Disorder in Spain, which provides an extensive overview of citizens' perceptions of the current political situation, where a pessimistic view prevails. The majority of Spaniards believe that democracy is not functioning well, that it is deteriorating, and only half feel represented by any political party. So there we go, and disturbing in my opinion to find out that some 26% of young men would prefer authoritarianism over democracy in some some circumstances. Not sure what those circumstances would be, but disturbing nonetheless. And nearly 23% of male millennials find this type of regime acceptable. Again, disturbing. Because exactly what does the word authoritarianism mean? Well, it's a noun, and its meaning is the belief that people must obey completely and not be allowed freedom to act as they wish. Sounds like fun, so let's hope that the 26% of males that are wishing for this type of regime look up the definition in a dictionary. Now let's have a look at some comments left on the channel recently. One here from Brian. Hola Stuart, I haven't commented in a long time, but I definitely still have been watching your great videos. I'm liking everyone too. Thanks Stu. Yeah Brian, thanks for the comment and good to see that you are still watching and liking the videos. And while I'm on the topic, I'd like to extend the thanks to everybody that watches and likes the videos. Thank you very much. And it's great to have the support of this community made up by people like Brian and yourselves. Cheers. One here from Johnny. I assume my grandparents left Portugal, Madeira, Azores, for a better life here in the US. My mum's people left the Dust Bowl, Arkansas, Oklahoma in the 1930s for a better life in California. Good show today, and I appreciate your candidness. Thank you, Stuart. Yeah, Johnny, thanks for the comment. And I've always assumed that my ancestors left wherever they came from, whether it be Scotland, England, or Ireland, and went to Australia to improve not only their lives, but also the lives of the generations that were going to come after them. And hopefully they achieved what they set out to do. And that's what I believe that people are trying to do now, improve not only their lives, but the lives of the generations to come. And they want that opportunity. Some people do it legally, they go through the proper procedures, but some people can't, for whatever reason, do it that way, so they choose the illegal route. But at the end of the day, they're all human beings and deserve to be treated as such. And this whole anti-migration rhetoric is so small-minded and doesn't look at the big picture. But again, just my opinion. One here from Teddy. Extremadura is absolutely amazing. Sign me up. You work so hard. Remind the listeners to hit that like button. Yeah, Teddy, thanks for the comment. And yes, the autonomous community of Extremadura is a wonderful place. But then again, would I want to live there? I don't know. Sure, go there on holidays, spend a few days, maybe a week, but for 2 years? And remember, we're not talking about some of the big cities in that autonomous community here in Spain. We're talking about rural living. And I'm not sure how many digital nomads would be willing to do that. And I reckon that's why the government is offering 15,000 euros. But if anybody does want to take the Extremeño government's offer up and live in that part of the world for 2 years and get your hands on that 15,000 euros, you can find the information online and how to apply. One here from James. Yes, England has problems, but don't believe everything you see. There are nice places and beaches. Unfortunately, we have a very challenging climate due to our vicinity due north. Yeah, James, thanks for the comment, and obviously referring to something that I said the other day about all of the videos that you can watch on places like YouTube nowadays that show how bad things are in the UK. There seems to be an endless amount of content creators out there that want to show people the negative sides of certain countries. And they portray some parts of the UK as absolute dumps full of people that have fallen on hard times. And it is true that lots of countries in the world have their problems. No place is perfect. I've visited the UK on numerous occasions over the years and even lived there for a period of time back in the early 90s and never had a problem. Yes, the weather is for 10 months of the year, but apart from that, and I have visited some very nice places in the UK. So the moral of this story is, as James points out, is don't believe everything that you read and see. Get out and experience life for yourself and then come to your own conclusions. One here from Adele. I know several people who have been to Lanzarote recently and they all said migrants aren't a problem there and didn't see any crime and very few migrants were visible at all. So I don't know which story is correct. Yeah, Del, thanks for the comment, and the correct story is the one that your friends told you. And as we saw in that previous comment, don't believe everything that you read or see online or in the press. Don't let fear dominate your life. Get out there, experience life and places for yourself, and as I said before, come to your own conclusions. One here from Vicente. Hi Stu, I've been following your videos since we were locked down over COVID. Very informative with current affairs in Spain and regions. Thanks again for taking the time to deliver this information to us. From Vicente in the province of Malaga, 32 degrees today. Yeah, Vicente, thanks for the comment. Good to see that you are still still watching the videos, following the channel, and that you like the content. The objective of these news videos is to keep people informed, up to speed with what's happening here in Spain according to the Spanish press, and have a look at some of the main issues that the Spanish population is grappling with. And let's be honest, there's hardly a dull moment as far as politics and current affairs in this country are concerned. And the final comment here from Jan: in 2008, I went for a holiday in Benidorm. Since then, I have not returned and will not do so in the future either. There is no future in Spain. Yeah, Jan, thanks for the comment, but let me get this straight. You haven't been in Spain since 2008, so what's that, 16 years, yet you have the nerve to say that this country, Spain, doesn't have a future? Do me a favor, Jan, stop looking at social media, stop believing all of the crap that you're reading on social media. Get out there, explore the world, and enjoy everything that it has to offer. It's not that bad. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, anything coherent to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.